Hello. Welcome to a brand new episode of Page 10. We are recording on the 10th of April 2023. My name is Abbas. I'm going to be your host for this show. Page 10 is the current affairs show on the All About Now feed and YouTube channel at IVM Podcasts. Joining me in the studio today is Meghnad, who's flown all the way from Delhi to Bombay to be here.
Yes, to diss the NCERT. That's what I do.
Did you मतलब have you आप वहां से भाग के आए हो क्या एनसीईआरटी कुछ बोल ना दे इसलिए
हाँ
मैं आ गया
एग्जैक्टली लाइक फ्यूचर में बच्चे होंगे उनको फेल कर देंगे शायद इसलिए मैं यहाँ पे आ गया बॉम्बे में किसी को फर्क नहीं पड़ता
And with us this week, we have our guest, Abhishek Kumar. Abhishek is a journalist and researcher at Alt News. And Abhishek did a very interesting story last week. So he's going to be talking about that. In case you're joining us for the first time or watching Page 10 for the first time, this is a current affairs show hosted by me. And Meghnad is a regular panelist. And every week we are joined by another guest where we talk about a piece of news that happened preferably in the last week. Each of us brings a piece of news to the table. We explain it and have a healthy discussion about it and question each other and go home more well informed and happier than we were when we entered this show.
Yeah, or at least we hope so.
We hope so, yes. You can always please like this video, subscribe to the All About Now channel where you will find two other shows which are ELI 10 and How to Citizen. You can check those out as well. Meghnad hosts and co-hosts both of them. So without further ado, Abhishek, let's start with you. You had a very interesting story which you wrote about last week, which was about the largest national party at the moment, which is the Bharatiya Janata Party, also happens to be in power. So tell us about your story. What was it, and how did you go about breaking the story?
So first we got an intel about 6 or 7 websites that these are the websites that look similar in appearance and their privacy policy page and disclaimer page are exactly same, word by word same, except for the domain thing.
Mhm.
And Facebook pages connected with these websites are spending money on propaganda ads, pushing ads, attacking opposition leaders and parties. So we started doing research about it, and first I want to give a overview about what is website profiling. So
Sure.
for example, there is a crawler which goes on every website for website profiling. So if a crawler goes on websites and watches, this is the IP address, this is the Google Tag Manager tag, this is the Google Analytics tag. So it profiles it on a website. Then if it goes on another website and found same thing, same IP address, same Google Tag Manager, same Facebook pixel tag, so it profiles like these are the mutual websites which are sharing the same IP address or tags. So for example, let's say example, ivmpodcast.com. So
Mhm.
there is 4 websites connected with this: cyrussays.in,
Oh,
indusbox.com,
yeah.
episodes.ivmpodcast.com, and one is madeinindia.com.
Okay.
Yes.
So these
Is
4
Abhishek
websites
giving
are
out trade
connected.
secrets right now? I don't know.
Pretty understood why all these are included. Yes.
But sure, continue, Abhishek.
Go on.
So these 4 websites in past shared same Google Analytics tag. So
Hmm.
same admin was added. Same admin has added the Google Analytics code, and one is IP address code. So is there any engineer named Raghu in IBM
There was,
Uh,
podcast?
I think, right? There was at some point,
yeah.
yes.
So
Oh,
same IP
old.
address. Okay, so there is a website rraaggghhu.in. So
Okay.
this website shares same IP address, and I think this guy was responsible for designing IBM podcast
Okay.
website.
I have no
So
clue, but go
Uh,
on. You're like you're
I
turning
mean,
this into an IVM
news to us
story.
as well.
I
so
get
there
the
is
idea how this
same
works. Okay.
theme. There is same theme, and of course the logo is even same on his website. I think
Sure.
this was a testing website, so
Sure.
that it can be implemented on the main website.
Right, right.
So uh, there can be other websites hosted on the same IP, but you need to do more research. For example, I checked Amit Doshi's LinkedIn profile and found all these websites. Cyrus says, Made in India, and all. So additional resources you can confirm with additional resources that yeah, these are the website connected with same. So I did the same in the case of those propaganda websites or propaganda Facebook pages. I
Right.
went on there is a tool called Built With.
Yeah.
So this is a website profiling tool.
You used BuiltWith to do this also, na? Dissection on IVM and Amit Doshi.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. Cool. Cool. Go
I was
ahead.
I was about to say I'm scared. I feel like you know all the dirt on me and Meghnad before you started this, but so I'm going to be cautious in what I say. Go ahead.
So I went on this. I checked the IP with the help of IP lookup tool. I checked
Hmm.
the IP address of this website and
Hmm.
entered this IP address in built with tool. So
Hmm.
it gave me a trace of 23 websites.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now I checked one by one these websites' Facebook pages in archive, or some 13 websites were live, and some of the websites, old websites, went down, or some were live. So one by one, I went on these websites and checked what is the Facebook page, and
Hmm.
then there is a meta ad library report. So from 2000, I guess 2018 last, before 2019 elections, Facebook announced that we will be providing political ads data. So they
Right.
keep 7 years data of Facebook ads or Instagram ads on
Yeah.
Meta Ad Library. So one by one, I went on the check these websites. So I found these websites were massively pushing ads, propaganda ads, communal
Hmm.
ads, targeting.
Abhishek, if I may interrupt, when you say pushing propaganda, what do you mean exactly? What was the content of these ads?
When I say about propaganda ads, for example, if they are targeting Arvind Kejriwal or Rahul Gandhi, they
Mhm.
will set a skull cap, Muslim skull cap on the head
Hmm.
and write something like they are appeasing Muslims.
Hmm.
Or they will, if they are targeting, for example, Tejaswi Yadav, they will
Hmm.
keep Chara thing and will connect
Hmm.
that this is Chara Ghotala and all. Not all ads are like that propaganda or hatred, but
Hmm.
all these ads are propaganda. All these ads were attacking. Some
Hmm.
were like promoting BJP, but majorly these ads were attacking, like targeting
Hmm.
politicians. Some pages were dedicated to some politicians or some parties, like Bhak Budwak is like Bihari language is but Bhak
Hmm.
Hmm.
Budwak.
Hmm.
So they added this with Tejaswi Yadav and were
Hmm.
targeting this. And there is a opposite opposite word Mamta. It is Nirmamta. So there
Right.
was two. There was a page Nirmamta. They were attacking Mamta Banerjee with that page, and Bua Babua attacking Mayawati and Samajwadi Party
Hmm. Hmm.
leaders Akhilesh Yadav. So some pages were so mean. So there was a page in I think Jharkhand. They were saying it will become like West Bengal. What do you mean by it will become like West Bengal? They
Hmm.
were trying to portray that it will become a Muslim dominant area. Is
Hmm.
Hmm.
Bengal a Muslim dominant area? They were
Hmm.
doing very vile propaganda through these pages.
Hmm.
So I checked one by one these
So
pages in
Abhishek,
Meta Ad
sorry,
Library.
I'll just interrupt you to like form the chain of what events. And correct me if I'm wrong. So essentially, what you did was you saw like these bunch of websites hosted from one IP address, and you saw that the pages themselves are also putting Facebook ads. And through the Meta library, you were able to connect the Facebook ads, which were these propaganda main ads attacking opposition, with the websites which were hosted on one IP address. Is that the chain of
So,
events?
so the sequence of event is like
Yeah.
first I checked the reverse IP lookup. I
Yeah.
found 13 websites that were live.
13. Right.
13 websites. Then I checked the IP history
Hmm.
with the use of built with
Mhm.
Ah.
IP
Hmm.
history usage tool. Then I found the trace of 23 websites.
Right.
Then one by so the protocol of these websites are there is a disclaimer, there is a privacy policy page, there are three pictures, same template, three pictures on
Hmm.
homepage and nothing on this website, nothing except for a Facebook page link. So the
Hmm.
sole purpose of these websites are to create a disclaimer on Facebook to run
Hmm.
political ads. So there is a rule that if you want to run a political ad on Facebook, you have to create a disclaimer in which you have to publicly say that
Right.
which who is paying for your ad, and you have to
Hmm.
provide your street address, your mobile number, your email. So the main reason of these websites were to create a disclaimer, and
Hmm.
Facebook was approving all this. And
Hmm. So
normally it
Abhi,
was,
sorry. So if you're saying that, so in these ads, like let's say these 13 pages which are live, whose name was given as a disclaimer to Meta or Facebook?
so in all these website pages, all pages are live right now. All pages are
Right.
live. Websites
Right.
are down,
Right.
but pages are live. So in all these disclaimers, the entity or person giving ads was xyz.com. For example, फिर एक बार
Ah,
modisarkar.com.
got it.
Like these websites are paying us for the ad.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So in disclaimer, it is advised to say that who is paying for your ad. So these
Hmm.
pages portray that these websites are paying for my ads.
Got it.
So one by one, I checked this and collected data. So how many ads they have run till now, how much money they have spent till now. So then I found, and after that, there was a page called feerekbarmodisarkar.com.
Hmm.
Its previous name was, I think, Uttar Dega Uttar Pradesh. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So Uttar Dega Uttar Pradesh created a hype in 2016. This page was very famous. So if I think BJP, it has more followers than the official BJP Uttar Pradesh. So I think Prashant Kishore was leading for Congress in
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
2016 or 17. So Prashant Kishore was doing opposite part, and this page was doing this part.
Hmm.
I think BJP part. Yeah.
Right.
So there was a competition between the Uttar Dega Uttar Pradesh campaign and Prashant Kishore campaign. So
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
this page was mentioned in many articles. The Quint, Aaj Indian Express, that yeah, this page is performing very good. This page has so many likes, and back that time, 7 lakh, 10 lakh likes
Hmm.
was a good
Hmm.
number. Nowadays,
Right.
it becomes normal. Everyone
Yeah.
has 10 lakh likes.
Yeah.
But back that time, 10 lakh likes were a
Yeah. Yeah.
good
Was a
Yeah.
lot.
number.
Yeah.
So this page, so every page has a page transparency where you can check which page has changed their name how many times, at which date. So I checked this Facebook page and found that its previous name was Uttar Dega Uttar Pradesh, and found old post like 2016 post of this page where there was a number, there was a website, and there was a Twitter handle and Facebook page URL. So Facebook page URL is changed, and uh, so if you click that URL, this page was
Hmm.
will come broken because link was broken, username
Hmm.
was
Okay.
changed.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
their Twitter interaction was very less. I think 1,000 or 200. I don't know how many followers they have.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Hmm.
they left that page at the last day of election. They stopped tweeting with this handle. So I found that handle and checked all old tweets and found that there was a short link of FB. If you share something, there was a short link fb.com
Hmm.
slash xyz.
Yes.
So if you click that link, this redirects to Uttar Dega Uttar Pradesh.
Right.
I mean, फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and the timing was same. Even date is same, timing is same. A tweet was posted on same time, and Facebook page was posted on same time, and same content, same text, same graphics. So I checked this, and I was able to establish the connection between these two Facebook page and Twitter handle. They were
Hmm.
100% connection between two pages.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Then there was a post where Facebook page URL handle was mentioned, and the campaign website or UP ke man ki baat, and a mobile number was mentioned. So I checked this mobile number and website and found that BJP's main handle and Uttar Pradesh BJP's official handle had tweeted that these websites are our campaign websites. There are videos, And if you find the archive link of 2016 of
Hmm.
the Uttar Pradesh BJP, so
Mm-hmm.
this number was on header of the
Okay.
Twitter
The page.
of
Got
the
it.
Correct.
official page.
Mm.
So I was able to establish the connection between these network.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this was the story, and
So how much? Okay, so I'm reviewing the timeline again for our listeners. So one IP address, many websites hosting on Facebook, ads on Facebook. Disclaimer on Facebook says, "Oh, these websites are giving us money to host these ads," but actually you were able to trace it to a Twitter handle, to an address, and which was the BJP address. So essentially, you
yes.
established this ads ka connection directly
So
with the BJP.
Account.
yeah,
Huh.
of course. So
Right.
if you check there is a date filter in that
Hmm.
meta ad library. So with date filter, if you check the old disclaimer, so these
Hmm.
pages were changing disclaimer time again. So if you find that old disclaimer, there was an address mentioned, which is BJP headquarters address.
Oh.
Deen Dayal
So
Upadhyay Marg.
yeah,
Hmm.
Deen Dayal Upadhyay. So if you want to add an address in Facebook page, you can add whatever address you want. But if you are creating a disclaimer for
Mm.
political ad, you have to provide street
Hmm.
address. You
Hmm.
have to
Hmm. Hmm.
provide your phone number, your
Hmm.
email address, and domain email address. So if you check all these websites, email address, all the email are domain email, and some numbers are repeating twice. So one
Hmm.
page number is connected with another page. So there was a page called Paltu Army Party, which spent I think 44 lakh attacking Arvind Kejriwal. So there was a page called I think Bhak Budbak.
Hmm.
So
Mm.
a number was given in the disclaimer of Bhak Budbak, and this number, when I searched this number on Google, so there was a indexed Facebook page, yeah, Paltu Army Party, in which
Hmm.
they had appealed that join me with this number on WhatsApp to
Mm.
defeat Arvind Kejriwal.
Mm.
Right.
So even that page was interconnected.
Mm.
Hmm.
Paltu Army Party, even though that was not the part of that 23 websites, but they were
So,
interconnected, and there are more websites we are working
hmm.
on.
Yeah. So, Abhishek, so how much money was spent on these ads? Like, according to the time duration that you were like looking at, total money.
Uh, if we say about time duration, there is four types of filter on that
Hmm.
meta ad library. Either you can find a day filter, a week filter, a month filter, 90 days filter, or you can check all days filter.
Lifetime.
So
Huh.
yeah, lifetime. Even though your page was created in January 2023,
Sure.
so if you want to find the all dates, you can only say that this data is from this day to this day.
Sure.
So
Sure. Sure.
if you know that this page was created on this day, you can say that this is a 2 month data.
Hmm.
But if a page was created 6 years ago
Hmm.
and started running ad just 2 years ago, so
Hmm.
you can say that yeah, this is the data of this time
Hmm.
frame.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have only option to say that this is the all data from
Sure. So, like, you
where
did
the
the
Facebook.
lifetime filter. So you did the lifetime filter, and how much
Yeah.
money did you get? Like, was being spent?
After adding all these
Hmm.
money spent by these individual pages, I got like 3 crore
Hmm.
something lakh. I don't remember right
Hmm.
now. 3 crore
Hmm.
something lakh. And if we add the Paltu Aadmi Party, there is 40 lakh plus in that
Mm.
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So my study was based on the single IP address, so I didn't added that amount in that
Right.
Hmm.
Mm.
sheet.
Right.
But there is a clear connection that these
Hmm.
were interconnected, and
You,
there are more pages.
Abbas, have you ever run Facebook ads, by the way?
No.
No. I think Abhishek can also tell us. So if I spend like 100 rupees on Facebook,
Mhm.
how much reach can I get? Is there like I
Depends.
think like so I think 3 years ago I was doing like a campaign for something and I was running an ad एंड आई रिमेम्बर 100 रुपीज स्पेंड करके मुझे 15 से 20 हजार लोगों तक बूस्ट मिल रहा था. Like 15,000 to 20,000 people I was able to
डिपेंड करता है,
reach.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I mean, at
डेमोग्राफी
least
पे,
for
एज
what they
पे.
were showing me,
Right.
right? So is it safe to assume that with these 3 point whatever crore whatever, how many people, is it even possible to estimate how many people they were able to reach with these ads?
Huge number. We have to check every ad detail, every ad. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
example, if a graphic is pushed 3 or 4 times, you have to click ad detail. Then you will get data that this ad was pushed from this time frame, from this time frame, from this.
Right,
Then
right.
you have to check all the ads individually, that there was five
Mhm.
thousand, there was 50,000, there was 5 lakh.
Hmm.
So it is nearly impossible for an
To
Hmm.
do that.
individual to
Sure.
calculate.
Sure. Got it.
So, this is a question to both of you.
Hmm.
So, there is the whole what we call the IT cell, right?
Hmm.
And the notion that we have in our mind is there's essentially click farms who are doing stuff essentially like what Abhishek has sort
Hmm.
of spoken about, right? Um, and now, with your story, it clearly establishes a connection with the official BJP
Hmm.
pages, right? Pages, and like you mentioned in one case, even
They had to take
they
down
had
all those websites next day. I
they
think
had
same
to.
day at
Okay.
night. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
they did. Oh, amazing.
That's what
Congratulations,
I was
Abhishek.
actually coming to. That has there been any action from the
Yes,
Meta.
of course, of
from
course.
Meta or from the BJP after this
Uh,
so
we have reached
story?
out at Meta. We are
Hmm.
yet to get a response, and I
Right.
think we will surely get a response. This is
Right.
serious. And
Al-
from those websites went down very next day. My friend said that that went down same day at night, but I was
Hmm.
able to check next day, so I can
Yeah.
confirm that
Yeah.
next day all the websites went down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My whole thing is okay. So,
Now the question is, now the
Hmm.
question is for Facebook. If
Hmm.
these websites were paying for the ad, now these websites are non-existent.
Hmm.
So
yeah,
who is paying for the ad?
who
And
is paying for the ads? Yeah.
some pages are still running those ads. Like फिर एक बार मोदी
Hmm.
सरकार, तेलंगाना
Yeah.
आत्म गौरवम,
Hmm.
and I think 7 to 8 pages are still running those ads.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the question
So
is, who is paying for the ad now?
I have a very specific question here, Abhishek, and I think in your thread and story also you mentioned this. So what is the direct violation that they were doing of meta policies in this case? Like what was the violation? One I think you already mentioned is that they were not mentioning the real people who were paying for these ads. It's a very direct thing, right? Like if BJP is paying for the ads, then in the disclaimer it should show that BJP is paying for these ads. But in this case, it was showing this website, random website is basically paying for that. One is that violation, but other than that, are there more violations that you found?
These pages run misinformation, like I
Yeah.
mentioned in the article that Nobel Prize thing for Narendra
Mm-hmm.
Modi,
Mm-hmm.
and several times Meta has to take down those ads because of
On the violation of misinformation.
yes, yes,
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
because Meta had some partners in
Sure.
I have seen they have
Hmm.
partnered with AppSeen, and there are so many fact
Fact
checking partners
checkers. Yes.
even in India and abroad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they will flag, they had to
Take
obviously
it
take
down.
down
Hmm.
those posts. So several times they have taken down those posts, and some ads are taken down, and they have not mentioned why,
Hmm.
and they were like communal, like very
Hmm.
much attacking. So these types of ads were posted by these pages, and there are more violations. For
Hmm.
example, Facebook advised that you have to give street address.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So none of the pages have given street address. Some pages are given.
Right. Hmm.
So, but some pages have only city address, like
Hmm.
Gujarat,
Hmm.
like Ahmedabad, Gujarat. What is this
Right.
address? And
Yeah.
how can Facebook allow? And I even doubt that even some pages, those who have given the street address, even that are correct or not, I have any
Ah.
doubt.
Hmm.
So why do you think
It's
in that one
Facebook is
instance you found the BJP headquarter address was accurate, or was it a like
uh,
a somebody didn't it was a slip by someone somewhere?
so the same address is given in BJP organization's
Right.
Hmm.
website.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You can check those
Hmm.
address
Hmm.
Hmm.
there. And I have added
Okay.
also the archive link so that. And one more interesting thing is that they have added BJP has added a filter on their website. So if
Hmm.
you want to archive their pages, you can't. You have to
Oh.
manually do a robot check. And if you want to archive that page, you the archive crawler can't do the
Hmm.
robot pass that
Yeah.
captcha code and all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is fascinating. So, Abbas, one thing that I was thinking of while Abhishek's story, while I was
Yeah.
reading his thread and story, was that so 3.5 crore रुपए
Huh.
they were able to spend on ads, right?
Huh. Huh.
ठीक है, propaganda ads, misinformation, etc.
Huh.
I was like, ये पैसा कहाँ से आया?
Hmm.
Right? Because this is the big question that we need to ask. कि this money which came from the party or somewhere, again, I would say party because you are the one who established that link, Abhishek. So party से अगर पैसा आया तो उनके पास ये पैसा कहाँ से आया? That is one of my big questions, right? And जिसने भी पैसा दिया वो party को, are they okay with this? Right? That is my big question that I keep asking, right? Because if you remember, like electoral bonds came in
Hmm.
2017.
Hmm.
उसके पहले whenever you had to donate to a party, there were two ways. One was cash.
Hmm.
तो 20,000 से कम अगर if you gave in cash, it was anonymous. तो
Hmm.
so what people used to do is अगर 1 लाख देना होगा तो तुमको 5 रिसीट बना के दे
Ah.
देंगे,
Huh.
like 19,999
Right.
rupees का.
Huh.
So they reduced that to 2,000 rupees. So instead of
5
five
receipts.
receipts,
Yeah.
they'll give 50.
Yeah.
But leave that aside.
Huh.
The other part is if you gave through bank or check or whatever, that name had to be revealed.
Hmm.
So that was a public name. So
Hmm.
that is how we found out that companies like Vedanta gave to both BJP and
And
Congress at the
Congress.
same time. And Supreme Court ने बोला कि क्या चल रहा है? Like elections के पहले they were going to disqualify both parties, but that didn't happen. That would be such a fun thing. But anyway, so after that they brought in the electoral bonds, right? Which is in 2017. They brought in this instrument which essentially breaks the link between people who are giving money, who they are giving it to.
Hmm.
Now there is this void in the middle where you pass this money through and you have no idea कि पैसा कहाँ से आया और किसको जा रहा है. So that is my worry here, which
Yeah.
is ये 3.5 करोड़ रुपए जो मेटा को गए हैं, right? They came from somewhere, right? बीजेपी को भी किसी ने तो भी दिए हैं.
Hmm.
So who is giving this money?
Hmm.
I will keep asking this question, and I don't know. I know Abhishek can't find the answer. It's legally impossible to, but it is a question worth asking, right?
Yeah.
If court wants, they can reveal, or if Meta already knows who is paying for that,
But
because
even Meta can't tell, right? That's the point. So
yeah,
Meta को पैसा आ रहा है बीजेपी से.
Huh.
That they can tell कि कोई तो भी एक account से which is linked to the BJP, whatever. That I genuinely don't think is like rocket science. But बीजेपी को कहाँ से पैसा आया? That is what I'm more interested in. Like XYZ corporation gave BJP money which was used to attack Kejriwal.
Hmm.
That is the link I want. Because I was like, Delhi election के पहले किसने इनको पैसा दिया? And that money was spent on attacking, let's say, a Kejriwal or like a Akhilesh
Rahul
Yadav or
Gandhi.
Rahul Gandhi or whoever it is, right? Or spreading misinformation or anything else. So interesting. I don't know. Like I dream of the day when one day SBI will be like, अरे हमको तो पहले से ही पता था किसको किसका क्या मिल रहा है. ये लो चिट्ठा पूरा. And like 5 years later, everything will be revealed.
We can
so
only
while
hope.
doing this story,
Yeah.
एक सवाल काफी मन में आ रहा था बार बार कि क्यों, अगर
क्यों?
पैसा आप खर्च कर रहे हो and you can do it with your official handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a twist.
Hmm.
So from official handle, they can't set a skull cap on Rahul Gandhi's
Yeah,
Yeah,
picture,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
will be criticized. And they
Yeah.
can't
Right.
attack Mamata Banerjee because that will be
True.
criticized globally. So
True.
they had created a bypass for all
Mm,
this.
true.
The one thing we need to add here, a little bit of nuance, that um just say for example Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, or like Rural Development Ministry or
Mm,
whatever,
mm.
they might be spending money on ads also on Meta. I don't know, maybe they do. And I think in that case they must be promoting schemes,
Yeah.
government ने क्या काम किया है, etc. So if let's say BJP was spending money on this,
Mm,
I still wouldn't have a problem.
yeah.
राइट विच इज लाइक बीजेपी ने, मतलब बीजेपी के गवर्नमेंट ने ये काम किया है,
Mm,
एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव डन, बट दे वर स्पेंडिंग इट टू डू दिस गार्बेज,
yeah.
विच इज द एसेंशियल प्रॉब्लम कि तुम प्रोडक्टिव चीजों पे नहीं, लाइक लोगों के लिए तुम बोल रहे हो कि अरे थिंक पॉजिटिव अबाउट कंट्री, थिंक पॉजिटिव अबाउट एवरीथिंग, बट ऑन द अदर हैंड यू आर spending money to do this negative propaganda which is just spreading hate. It's
Yeah.
just so bizarre. Anyway.
Yep. Thanks, Abhishek. Thanks for that story. We'll look forward for a bigger expose if you ever do it to join the links from where exactly the money is coming from. But thanks for that story. At this point, we'll take a quick break. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and like the video and share it with someone who you think will enjoy it. We'll come back and we'll hear what Meghnad has for us this week. We'll be right back after this. Hello, hello, hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. Listeners, presenting to you Club Saris Says, the premium tier offering for our podcast. Club members will get exclusive Cock and Bull episodes every Monday, extended and unfiltered versions of the guest episodes, access to the Club Saris Says Discord server, and audio offerings such as ad-free episodes and early access to guest episodes. Also, members get to decide the topics of the live episodes and get their name on the producer's slate at the end credits. On Cock and Bull, Cyrus and Abbas, that's me, are joined by Owen Roncon, Chief of Business Live Events at Book My Show. We discussed Italy banning the use of English language and the antics of an American couple on YouTube for getting viewership. On Pulyabazi, Khyati, Saurabh and Pranay discuss how with changing geopolitics and technology, many government ministries have to deal with increasing levels of complexity. And on the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik Nagarajan speaks to Malika Ravikumar, an author and history buff. She talks about her love for history and how schools have made it all about dates and wars which students find boring. Once again, don't forget to visit our merch store on ivmpodcast.com. We have some exciting stuff for you. Follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you like our shows, please spread the word, tell your friends, and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. You will also find our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: LIC of India, Yono SBI, Cash Free Payments, and HDFC Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible. And we're back on page 10 with Meghnad and Abhishek. Meghnad, what do you have for us this week? Please take it away.
So my story has been developing over the last week. Ritika Chopra of Indian Express is the one who did this 3-part series on how the NCERT has dropped several topics and chapters from NCERT textbooks from classes 6 to 12 for the academic session of 2022 and 23.
Are you planning to do another show called How to History now?
How to History, that will be fun. For the people who don't know, we've been going through the civics book, right, which is the 7th standard civics textbook.
Yeah.
This story comes now where they have specifically pointed out that new books that are here for the session of 2022-23, there are many changes that have been made in the textbooks, and the reason why these changes have been made, the rationale is that it is to reduce content load on students. So these changes started happening during COVID,
which is a noble thought.
I mean, baste ka tumko size kam karna hai, oh, students are so like, oh my god, kitna pressure aa raha hai hum pe types. So theek hai, I mean, rationalizing the curriculum is what they are calling it.
Yeah.
So 2 years ka ye change period hai,
Hmm.
right? I have to also say that this is the third textbook revision that has been done since 2014,
Okay.
right? Third textbook
Hmm.
revision. The first one happened in 2017, right? In which NCERT made 1,334 changes,
Okay.
right? Usme additions, corrections,
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
And then the second review was in 2019. And the third review is the one we are finding right now, which I
Right.
think was done in 2021.
Okay.
So there are 3 periods. So
Right.
what I'm going to tell you, let's do this fun thing. Okay.
Okay.
So they have removed certain sections from class 6 to class 12.
Right.
So I'm going to read out these sentences
Okay.
and we are going to figure out why they removed it.
Okay.
Like, so, of course, disclaimer for their reasoning is that it is rationalization
Huh.
of career, right?
Okay.
In broad,
Hmm.
right? These are the things that they have removed, right?
Hmm.
One is they have cut down a lot of content about the Mughals,
Hmm.
right? Gujarat riots.
Hmm.
They have cut down content about Mahatma Gandhi's assassination
Mhm.
and related Nathuram Godse stuff.
Mhm.
Hindu extremist killing
Yeah.
Gandhi.
Yeah.
And also things about emergency.
Okay.
Then they have removed things about caste, Varna system, and minorities and secularism from other things, right?
Right.
So we are going to do some of these examples, not all of them. There's a giant list of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with, Abbas?
The most popular one. Let's start with the Mughals.
Let's start with let's start with the Mughals. Okay. Let me just quickly find the Mughal parts.
We're all trying to find them.
Okay, so from class 12th history,
Yes.
this was removed. The Mughal court patronized art and literature on a scale unparalleled in earlier times. The Mughal emperors and their nobles commissioned magnificent buildings such as mosques, mausoleums, palaces, and forts. That was removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because it's like saying Hitler was a dog lover. I mean, you wanna concentrate on the main thing or like these small things, huh? Come on.
True. True. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, if we're saying they're barbarians, what are we gonna say? But they were good at architecture? No.
Yeah. True. Abhishek, any reactions? Wait, Abhishek is there?
He's there.
Yeah. He's giving a stunned look, I guess. So, okay. Next one.
I'm actually stunned.
I get it. Okay, this is a fun one. Okay.
Yeah.
So second chapter in class 7th history. Okay. This chapter is related to Mahmud Ghazni of Afghanistan.
Okay.
He invaded the subcontinent. Just for context, he invaded the subcontinent of India and raided the Somnath temple at some point. Right. Now, okay. So first they removed the title Sultan.
Okay.
From his name, right? And then the second sentence was so he's like Sultan Mahmud Ghazni of Afghanistan raided the subcontinent almost every year.
Honestly, in favor of that because बच्चों को इतना बड़ा नाम याद नहीं रहेगा.
Also, okay, fair enough. But they edited it to say Mahmud Ghazni of Afghanistan raided the subcontinent 17 times from 1000 to 1025 CE with a religious motive.
Oh, this was removed.
This was edited and added.
Oh.
Yeah. So that is the change.
All I'm saying is they must have found some new info about like you remove Sultan, you add religious motives.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense. Okay. So, of course, there was a giant change, which was a chapter on the Mughal Empire in class 7 textbook. Usme kafi, like cuts hue hai. There was a 2-page table detailing milestones and achievements of Mughal emperors, such as Humayun, Shah Jahan, Babur, Akbar, Jahangir, and Aurangzeb. Hata diya. Right?
Wow.
Abhishek, you want to take a guess why that was removed?
It's like Jodha and Who now.
I mean, for all the way this actually sounds, it would make it simpler for the students to remember कि एक table में ऐसे तुम बना दो कि इसने क्या किया, it just seems more. But Meghnad, how much space tables take on a
Of course,
page, right?
rationalization of
exactly,
career
yeah,
बहुत load था
yeah,
लोगों को,
yeah,
that's why.
We need to add more stuff about what all changes have happened in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
We need space for that.
Of course.
Table takes a lot of space.
Yeah,
So.
and in the same lines, they also removed stuff of the Delhi Sultanate,
Okay.
which they removed Mamluks, Tughlaqs, Khiljis, and Lodhis
Yeah.
because they just didn't exist, I guess.
Yeah, what Lodhi garden?
Yeah.
What garden? We don't
And the
know.
funniest thing is they changed the chapter name from Delhi Sultanate to Delhi.
To Delhi.
Delhi. It's just Delhi now. So okay, that's cool. Okay, next topic. Pick which one do you want?
Wow. Let's talk about Gandhi.
Gandhi. Okay, Gandhi. So, in class 12th of political science, they have said the following portion has been removed. Gandhiji's death had an almost magical effect on the communal situation in the country. The government of India cracked down on organizations that were spreading communal hatred. Organizations like the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh were banned for some time.
This is just we don't want. Yeah, we don't want to show at some point in history we acted upon accurately because of some something that happened. But Abhishek, you were saying, go ahead.
I was saying that surely they will remove this part.
Serious answers नहीं चाहिए Abhishek. What is this? We are doing this. I mean, we are ironically doing this. I know, but
I have an answer, Meghnad. Meghnad, see, when the father of the nation died, it was a somber moment, and we want to move on from that as soon as possible. We don't want to ponder over what happened in the days after.
Agreed. And वैसे भी some time के लिए ban किया था. Not forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you have to mention it?
वो मतलब जल्दबाजी में गलतियां हो जाती हैं, तो वो हम उन पे ponder नहीं करते हैं.
Of course.
Yeah, we move on from that.
Okay, so this also was removed. He, which is Gandhi, was particularly disliked by those who wanted Hindus to take revenge or who wanted India to become a country only for the Hindus, just as Pakistan was for the Muslims. His steadfast pursuit of Hindu-Muslim unity provoked Hindu extremists so much that they made several attempts to assassinate Gandhiji.
I'm at a point where I'm running out of excuses to think of. But again, I'll give an answer to this. I'm thinking of myself as the NCERT chief who has to make my case.
Yeah.
So the thing is, hate Gandhi? We don't hate Gandhi. In this country, we love and appreciate Gandhi.
Right.
Since time immemorial, since the moment he came here, he was not a polarizing figure.
Of course.
Everybody loved him. So why do we want to plant a seed in today's young minds that anybody at any time at all would hate the father of the nation? And it's not like his killer is being glorified now. It's not like we have an MP who can you think we reach a point where an MP glorifies the assassin? No, never. So
दिल से कभी माफ नहीं कर पाएंगे हम तो.
Exactly. तो हम वो सीढ़ी क्यों डाले बच्चों के दिमाग में?
क्यों डाले? Exactly. Yeah. It's not like some politician is going around Karnataka with like a giant poster of Godse and giving hate speeches, right?
So in order for that to not happen,
no one is taking poster of that guy in Ram procession.
Yeah,
nobody is doing that. Okay.
Very peaceful and orderly Ramnavami processions that happen in our country.
Yeah. Speaking of the guy with the poster on the poster, Nathuram Godse.
Yeah.
So class 12th history say, sorry, this was removed. Nathuram Godse, as a Brahmin from Pune, that line was removed, and the editor of an extremist Hindu newspaper who had denounced Gandhiji as an appeaser of Muslims. That entire segment was just removed, which was interesting. So basically, they are also simultaneously trying to erase any sort of personality that was given to Godse and sort of I don't understand this though. I mean, what is so wrong with calling him a Brahmin from Pune who ran a newspaper? I mean, sure, that other part is okay, but
maybe NCERT wants to glorify caste equality. They don't want to.
Speaking of caste. Yes, we will come there. Should we take caste next?
Yes, let's
do caste. Yeah. Okay. Now, a lot of 6th, 7th, 8th history and political science has things about caste in there, right? And okay, so this is trigger warning. Me and Nikhil were triggered after reading this.
Okay.
It's a little problematic here. So let's not do the irony here. Maybe let's
Okay.
look at it in a more
Sure.
serious sort of a way. Okay, so hereditary nature of Varnas, classification of people as untouchables, and rejection of the Varna system have been removed from a chapter in history, class 6 history, right? Specifically, there's this one portion which I'll read out. Okay. The Puranas were written in simple Sanskrit verse and were meant to be heard by everybody, including women and Shudras who were not allowed to study the Vedas, right? They removed everything till everybody. So now it reads, the Puranas were written in simple Sanskrit verse and were meant to be heard by everybody. Ends there. So the end part, which is women and Shudras were not allowed to study, that was removed. Another thing, the system of ashramas allowed men to spend some part of their lives in meditation. Generally, women were not allowed to study the Vedas and they had to follow the ashramas chosen by their husbands. Also removed.
Okay.
Then there's this big paragraph here. The priests also said that these groups were decided on the basis. So this is about the Varna system. The priests also said that these groups were decided on the basis of birth. For example, if one's father and mother were born Brahmins, one would automatically become a Brahmin, and so on. Later, they classified some people as untouchable. This included some craftspersons, hunters and gatherers, as well as people who helped perform burials and cremations. The priests said that contact with these groups was polluting. Many people did not accept the system of Varna laid down by the Brahmins. This entire segment was removed,
taken out,
right? Even in political science, they have removed references of untouchability, and they have removed this part. For example, some groups were forced to pick garbage and remove dead animals from the village, but they were not allowed to enter homes of the upper caste or take water from the village well or even enter temples. The children could not sit next to the children of other castes in school. Yeah.
The way, I mean, the parts that you're reading, it almost feels like they've completely erased the idea of that untouchability existed in this country till very recently.
Yeah.
Right. So I wonder, but then the fact is, if you take all of this out, then how do you establish that people fought against this to establish a more equal society, or are still fighting to establish an equal society?
I mean, how would you establish Ambedkar?
Exactly, that's
like
the
who
point.
you also sort of glorify all the time, right?
Yeah.
I'm very confused about this, right? Because I mean, these are very important sections in the book which are supposed to give kids an idea of caste discrimination.
Yeah.
Now, I've like, as we are going through 7th grade civics book and how to citizen, and I think listeners can also listen to some of the episodes where we always see ourselves touching upon caste in a lot of places. And I'm asking our guests, what is your understanding of caste? How were you made aware about it, etc. With Omar, with a bunch of other people, we spoke about this. Richa also spoke about this a bit. So, yahan pe we are also sort of saying that these kind of conversations will also not happen.
Exactly.
There. Right. I mean, I'm not saying that anybody is going and having conversations about this anyway. But abhi to chance bhi nikal rahe ho tum.
Yeah. So I think I've always felt that one of the biggest, I would use the word lies, that our history books fed us was that in our freedom struggle, all freedom fighters got along with each other, right?
Right.
The idea that there were difference of opinions and there was debate over it was never really established. The idea that Ambedkar and Gandhi had lot of back and forth about their opinions is something I learned on my own much later.
Yes.
Right. Because as far as I remember, what we have is small paragraphs about each freedom fighter. So there will be a Veer Savarkar, there will be a Bhagat Singh, there will be an Ambedkar, there will be a Gandhi. The overall, and then suddenly it will be like around 15th August 1947, the glorious nation of India gained independence. So that whole concept of people having debate and discussion, why the partition happened, the fact that there was a lot of debate and discussion over that. All of that black and white kar dete hain. Jinnah wanted Muslim country, he took it. We did not want it to be, that's why we stuck with the secular state.
Right.
Whereas there's a lot more complex, the nature of that whole partition is much more complex.
And this is absolutely what you said, but on top of this, there are actual policies that are based like reservation.
Exactly.
Right. So this whole thing about reservation merit ke basis pe jobs hona chahiye, whatever that garbage argument that people make. It's based on privilege, right?
Yeah.
So like thousands of years you have suppressed one section of society. That is what you're telling kids essentially here, right? And therefore you need reservations.
Yeah.
So now when you basically are removing this, maybe like let's say even 10 years down the line, when these kids are talking about reservation, this is it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This is basically opening up the floodgates for future policy change, essentially, right? Where conversations are not happening anymore.
Yeah.
So shady as hell. Abhishek, you want to add anything?
Yeah, there is a, I think, much bigger debate on this shitty social media that reservation should be given on merit. So, what do you think? What is merit? If you draw a line that someone is standing far from that line and someone is standing on that line, how can you, I think, establish the thing that reservation was never a merit or I think economically based. There was always a approach that suppressed community should be given opportunity to show their talent with the privileged one. I will say the privileged one. Because some community was always privileged about their status, about reading, about going school at wells, at temples and all. So reservation is not cannot be based on economical condition, and never was the idea of a reservation was based on economical condition.
It was based on suffering, right? I mean, like it is based on a suffering of a population, and that's what
100,000 years you have suppressed
exactly
and
caste-based discrimination,
only
suffering.
in these few years you got suffocation, like someone is getting opportunity to pursue their dreams, to bring a good change in the society, and be a inspiration for others who are still suppressed.
So the basis of this argument is being removed, essentially, right? So,
exactly.
I just want to quickly finish the other few parts. One is, of course, about Muslims, minorities. There are a few sections that have been removed. One is this box, which was describing a common stereotype about Muslims, that they are not interested in educating girls, and why this is far from the truth. That entire box has been removed. It also had a photo of 3 girls of different religions working together and going to school together. That's also gone. Again, why is this?
Wait a minute. Was a girl wearing a hijab in that picture?
Maybe not. Clearly. Okay. The other is first-person account of a Muslim woman being asked to change her traditional attire to jeans following communal disturbances in her area has been deleted from the chapter on marginalization. This is from class 8th political science. I remember doing this because in How to Citizen we had discussed this extensively. And I think it was in an episode with you only.
Oh, really?
I remember, like, I think marginalization page. You were there on marginalization.
I think mine was about freedom of expression, but we may have touched upon
this. But marginalization, I remember. Or maybe it was with Joel. So I think that was the one. Okay, and the last part. Okay, this is the most interesting part.
Emergency.
We can go back to irony. So, okay. So in class 12, political science, the emergency chapter has been cut down massively.
Okay.
Now, here's what I don't understand. एक तरफ तुम बोल रहे हो कि इंदिरा गांधी worst person ever, Congress worst party ever, but the paragraphs which actually show that you are the worst have been removed. I'll read one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from class 12 political science. Indian people had a brief experience of authoritarian rule during the emergency enforced between June 1975 and January 1977. Parliament was suspended and new laws were made directly by the government. Civil liberties were revoked and a large number of politically active people were arrested and jailed without trial. This includes Modi ji. Censorship was imposed on the media and government officials could be dismissed without normal procedures. Deleted.
Oh, I thought you were reading today's newspaper. Damn. Oh, these are the history books. Oh,
Shit.
okay.
Shit. Oh, that's why.
That's
I
why.
thought
बच्चे पढ़ेंगे
this
बोलेंगे
was
ये
the
तो
script
कुछ
of,
जाना पहचाना सुना है.
Sorry,
I
Abhishek, you were
thought
saying?
this was the script of Republic of Wadiya.
I'm very confused about this part though. Like this,
No, but it is that. I mean,
It is that,
kids
yeah.
are smart enough to draw parallels between. And
Yeah.
why would you want to? It's not. I mean, why would you give away your trick?
yeah, why would you give away your trick when someone else had already tried?
Yeah.
उसको क्यों credit देना?
Exactly.
Good
Maybe
things
that
should
is
be
the-
replicated.
Yeah,
Maybe-
absolutely, absolutely.
Maybe
That
they
is
are
the whole.
considering this as good stuff.
Yeah, and you know I mean, these deletions were sort of carried out over a period of time. And
So I was about to ask.
Yeah.
You said thrice it's been
Yeah.
revised since 2014. Why so many revisions suddenly? I mean, the recent one, I understand they want to reduce the study load for the students, but before 2014, was it like the revisions would happen at long intervals, and now suddenly?
So I'm not sure how the intervals work, but as
Okay.
far as I've seen, like as far as I know,
Hmm.
the intervals are not set. Like it's not
Okay.
like every year you're
Right.
revising it.
Yeah.
Often we are finding now
Huh.
when we go through like How to Citizen, when we are looking at the books, that a lot of outdated information still exists in these books,
Okay.
right? Like
Hmm.
for example, like if you want to talk about growing up as boys and girls,
Hmm.
you're giving like an example of 1920s Somalia
Hmm.
and 1960s Madhya Pradesh.
Hmm.
Right, when you're talking about unpaid labor in India, you're giving like 1990s ka data,
Hmm.
like
Right.
2000s ka data.
Hmm.
So that is not updated,
Right.
right? Which is confusing, right?
Hmm.
But because you're clearly making changes,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and now the interval is like 3 years, let's say.
Right.
In that 3 years,
Hmm.
can't you do these updates
Hmm.
also?
Yeah.
And so so it shows malice.
Hmm.
In my opinion, it shows malice.
Right.
So the head of NCERT was confronted by a bunch of reporters,
Yeah.
and he said that, oh, this might be an oversight, especially the Mahatma Gandhi parts,
Right.
whatever.
Huh.
But we are not going to
Arre?
rechange. Yeah, that's what he said. Like we're not going to do anything
What
about
is
it,
this
but it
behavior?
might be an oversight. Basically,
He also
I
said
guess
that
जो उखाड़ने
This is a very
This is
sarkari.
not
अभी
a
हो
new
गया ना. अभी छोड़ो ना.
हाँ अभिषेक.
He also said na ki this is a past change. We haven't changed this
हाँ.
year.
No, that is true though.
Hmm.
Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So like COVID के time पे
But-
changes
but-
हुए थे.
Hmm.
But those who are questioning this were not supposed to get this answer that this is the past change.
Yeah, like this is not an answer कि अरे वो तो हमने last year change किया था. अरे but किया था ना. Like बता ना क्यों. And the
Question
Mughal
तो ये
parts,
था
I
कि
think,
भाई क्यों चेंज हुआ अभी लास्ट
Yeah.
ईयर चेंज किया था भाई लास्ट ईयर पूछना था आपको
yeah, the majority of the changes about Mughals was done, I think, during the COVID era, and even the Gujarat riots thing
Right.
was done during the
Yeah.
COVID era. But like,
Oh, we didn't talk about that. I was like,
Gujarat riots
yeah,
का भी
but
बता दो.
come on, we learn about enough riots, Meghnad. We don't want to add one more to it, okay? Please. We want to.
एक दो पढ़ लेते हैं, just ऐसे fun के
हाँ,
लिए.
you read 84, you read 47, you're done. Why
Yeah.
do you need one more?
I'll read two instances.
Okay.
One is from class 12th sociology. The post-Godhra riots in Gujarat 2002 were a form of ethnic violence that claimed many lives and left thousands homeless.
I don't know
Deleted.
what you're talking about.
what
Yeah,
you're talking- Yeah.
it's peaceful time.
And then there's this whole section about essentially how sentiments are used to promote political
Right.
causes. So उसमें example दिया था. Instances like in Gujarat alert us to the dangers involved in using religious sentiments for political purposes. This poses a threat to democratic politics. Delete it.
Also, I think Atal Bihari Vajpayee's Raj Dharma
Yes, that's
statement.
the third one I was going to read. Former PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee, after the Gujarat riots, very famously, he sat with
Narendra Modi,
the current
then-
Prime Minister,
then CM.
ex-CM, Narendra Modi, and he said that my one message to the CM is that he should follow Raj Dharma. A ruler should not make any discrimination between his subjects on the basis of caste, creed, and religion. Delete it. अपने ही लीडर के आप शब्द
That's
delete
because
मार रहे हो.
then Modi ji very courteously turned to him and said, "वही तो कर रहे हैं साहब."
हाँ, exactly. कि क्या advice दे रहे हो?
Yeah,
मतलब
क्या
वही तो
advice दे
चालू
रहे
है. Like, why do you want this? So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can wrap up this particular topic right here.
Right.
Anything you want to add, Meghnad, before we close this particular topic?
I don't. Abhishek, if you want to add anything else.
No.
Cool. Okay, so we'll take another short break here. When we come back, we'll cover the story that I have, and we'll see you right after this.
Yeah.
Okay, coming back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back on page 10 with Meghnad and Abhishek. Let's come to the last story we have this week. So I wanted to talk about the new show your degree policy that the Aam Aadmi Party has launched. It's a campaign rather that they have launched. This has taken place after Arvind Kejriwal was fined by the Gujarat High Court for rupees 25,000 for basically demanding that Prime Minister Narendra Modi show his degree and make it more legitimate, which did not happen. Obviously, the court decided against it. But in response to that, now Atishi yesterday held a press conference where she said that the Aam Aadmi Party is starting a campaign where your leaders will show their degree every day to you. And then Atishi went on to say, I have a BA degree from Delhi University and 2 master's degree from Oxford. All of them are original. And I want to ask all the leaders to show their degrees, especially BJP leaders. Right? This has sparked off some responses. Sharad Pawar was asked about this at a press conference, and he said that we should not bother about small issues like degrees. There are way more bigger concerns to talk about, like hunger and poverty and unemployment, which has been seen in a slightly dubious light because Sharad Pawar has made some other pro BJP, pro Narendra Modi statements in the last few days. The Lieutenant Governor of Delhi said that some remain illiterate despite getting degrees from IIT, which was a degree. Well, I feel like we've taken digs at Kejriwal a lot in this episode. So that happened. Now I have a question here, which is a little contradictory in my mind. Is that one is that yes, we want our representatives to be educated and well educated, but the second thing is that the whole narrative that Narendra Modi has built, which is something that also works in his favor, is that he's come from the ground, right? He's literally, the narrative is that he was a chaiwala and now he has become the prime minister of a country. So why do we still have this obsession with degrees? Like there is a question mark on the degree that Narendra Modi claims to have, and also some other ministers, Smriti Irani also had a question mark, Yale or Harvard or whatever it was.
Nishikant Dubey, yes.
So why? Because I'll be honest, I'm still a 12th pass. I pursued a dentistry degree which I did not complete, and then I did a diploma. So I still don't have that approval of a degree in my hand. So there is a bit of contradiction here that yes, degree दिखाओ ताकि तुम्हारी legitimacy prove हो जाए, लेकिन on the other hand it's like भाई grassroots के नेता हैं जो खुद काम करके लोगों के लिए आगे बढ़े हैं, उसमें क्या हार्म है? Do you think this policy, not policy, but this campaign is a little elitist from the Aam Aadmi Party?
I feel like that, yes.
Okay.
I feel like this whole thing is a bad idea.
Okay.
This whole Degree Dikhao campaign. Because it also will scare their own councillors and MLAs, man.
Right.
Like, I mean, not every councillor and MLA is going to have like an Oxford se degree and a and all said and done, India mein we have put education and degrees on a pedestal, right? Where I mean, speaking personally, I am a BCom, right? I went to Nagpur University, and the year I was supposed to graduate, it was blacklisted.
Okay. For
scams. I mean, like Nagpur University and all scams hota hi rehta hai times, and I never went to check if I got my degree.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
Later, my mom had gone and she said, "Ki hai kahin to bhi." They just are not giving.
There
us
was no
something.
graduation throwing
No,
the cap in
blacklist
the
हो
air.
गया ना, बंद हो गया college. I was like, what? Like मेरा college ही बंद हो गया.
Okay.
I was like, so technically I might be a graduate, but
Hmm.
it's like a Schrodinger's degree
Right.
now, where I don't know whether I have graduated or not. I have a mark sheet.
हाँ,
Sure,
हाँ,
तीनों साल का mark sheet है जिसमें पास दिखा रहा है, पर मेरे पास डिग्री है क्या पता नहीं मुझे,
हाँ.
right? If this campaign was done now,
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to show it,
Right.
right?
हाँ.
I will be like, but I have worked in parliament for 8 years,
Yeah.
right? I have worked on bills. I have drafted bills now.
Hmm.
I have that sort of work experience and credibility to basically say that I have done shit.
Hmm.
I know things that I'm talking about.
Exactly,
I've
yeah.
done journalism for 5 years. I've covered
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
In this work experience, it should count towards
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having said that,
Hmm.
now Narendra Modi's
Entire
coming-
political science.
yeah, no, there are two things here. Right?
Okay.
His career, right,
Huh.
which is coming from Chaiwala, going to RSS, doing lots of things,
Hmm.
going to Kashmir, flag lagana, all the things. Emergency mein he was active.
Hmm.
All these things, which is as a politician, his career and experience.
Hmm.
He was the chief minister of Gujarat who
For 10
managed
years,
the
yeah,
state for
yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
Then he became prime minister and is now prime minister for 10 years,
Yeah.
right? That has to count towards something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
I mean, I would still say that he is an able administrator.
Yeah.
Right. In a lot of ways, he's a very able administrator. He's a great speaker.
Hmm.
He has a lot of charisma.
Hmm.
He knows how to sell himself
Hmm.
and his party.
Hmm.
And all said and done, he got like majority twice.
Right.
That's huge.
Thumping majority.
Thumping majority
Yeah.
twice, right? And there's a reason why everybody treats him like a god.
Right.
Right. I
So
mean,
then the flip side of that, then
flip side, yes.
you criticize Lutyens Delhi so much. Then why do you also want to have that degree wala ek thing? in
No,
your
but
state?
my thing is that sure, if you point this out that
Hmm.
his trajectory was great, his
Hmm.
experience should
Hmm.
worth
Count
something.
for something. Huh?
At the same time, this whole thing about presenting a degree and entire political science and उसमें थोड़ा shadiness है कहीं तो भी.
Hmm.
Like you can see it.
Hmm.
Font अलग है. Entire political science होता
हाँ,
क्या है?
हाँ.
कोई यूनिवर्सिटी से कोई बोल नहीं रहा है, कोई टीचर नहीं दिख रहा है जो who remembers him. All the things considered.
Hmm.
Why do you want to do this?
Hmm.
Just say no that if he didn't actually graduate or if he was a dropout, just say that
Yeah.
"Nahi, I didn't complete my
Yeah,
education."
that's a little more impressive in my eyes. That
I
despite
would say that,
despite dropping out, you climbed the stairs and became
Right.
held the primary
So the
office.
problem is not having a degree.
Huh.
The problem is lying about having a degree.
Huh.
And I feel that is a problem.
Right.
Like where you are lying about this, right? Potentially. Again, I don't know.
Yeah. We don't want to pay
Potentially, we don't
25,000.
want to bet anything on this situation.
Yeah.
Maybe Abhishek from Alt News might help us.
Abhishek, what
So
degree do you have,
there
or will
are-
you show it to
There
us?
are few. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and
Oh.
master's degree in
Someone
business administration.
actually put their degree to use here. Okay.
As useless as mine. Okay, go on.
So there are few misinformation going around with the degree claim. So you
Okay.
must have seen that some people, some leaders, MLAs, saying that there is a university, BER. So that's a clear misinformation. They don't have knowledge of font families. That's not the problem of the guy making certificate. You have no knowledge of font families. There are few font families in which the V looks like small case B.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Linotext, like certificate, like Old English, Lincoln text. In these fonts, there is a similarity that lowercase V
V.
looks like
Uh.
lowercase b.
Yeah.
This is a clear misinformation, but they don't want to understand. And
Yeah.
one more is some guys are tweeting like a screenshot of a Word document that this is the Word document and this is the degree. It is matching, but the Word document font is registered, copyrighted in this year.
Right.
But that's the different font. You don't want to precisely see what is the font used in the certificate and what is the font used in that Word document.
Document.
Right,
That's the
right,
different font. They are completely different font families.
right.
Hmm.
So this is the minor thing you have to notice.
No,
To
also, Abhishek, tell me, I don't know, like you might have this answer. I was thinking, um, if you had to, like, for example, Modi ji shayad pass ho gaya kabhi to bhi, jo bhi year tha, right? Whatever. Nobody has asked him for a degree till now. Then suddenly they're like, I may be misplaced my document, right? I mean,
Hmm.
there is a chance that he might
Yeah.
have misplaced it. So he had to go to the university. उनको बोला कि यार प्रिंट आउट निकाल के दे दे यार जो भी है रिकॉर्ड्स में दे दे. So they're like, oh, sure. I mean, then they printed it out,
Huh.
right? And then they gave it.
Hmm.
Now, there are these tweets that I'm seeing often where it's like, अरे मेरे को भी वो डिग्री वही साल में मिला था उसमें तो हैंड रिटन था and this is a printed degree. How is this? I mean, that's a bit ridiculous, I would say.
Yeah.
And maybe like the person who printed it out was like, यार ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर का डिग्री उसको थोड़ा सा अच्छा फॉन्ट में दे देना
हाँ.
उसको. Like, you know, like थोड़ा सा वो हेडर चेंज कर देना और political science, entire political science. Because चीफ मिनिस्टर था यार.
Yeah.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? Like प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन गए हैं तो if I have
अब क्या political science
yeah,
बचा?
अब क्या
सब हो गया.
political, some political science. It's like some enthusiastic as hell bureaucrat,
Possible.
maybe just for the lulls, not lulls, but to impress him, maybe.
To impress him, yeah.
Right? Because I remember there was this press conference where Amit Shah, I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
I think
about that time.
2016.
Yeah, 16 or 17. I don't forget. Where he went to a press conference and showed this degree. Right? He showed SSA karke, as Nikhil is saying. दिखा रहा था.
And they also tweeted.
And they also tweeted it out, right? And that is where the screenshot is coming from. The entire political science wala screenshot, right? I feel like this is like a sort of a weird situation where maybe the original degree was misplaced and it was reprinted with a fancier way just because it's the prime minister's degree. I don't know. That's my theory. I know they can't say it, maybe, because it's like, ये क्या ही चालू है? That's so ridiculous, but who knows?
Yeah. Also, I feel like Arvind Kejriwal has also like moved on from petty things like this. The degree dikhaiye and all of that. He used to do that earlier on in
Is he doing that again now?
No, but the fact that he was slapped with a fine of 25,000 and his
That's
party coming out and saying कि भाई हम तो सब दिखा देंगे.
Yeah.
I think the party should move on a little bit from that.
I think उनका strategy भी थोड़ा weird होगा where it's like, oh, we are the people who are saying सबको educated कर देंगे.
Maybe.
So therefore we have to establish कि वो degree दिखा. I don't understand.
Yeah.
This is, I think, a bad move.
Okay.
Abhishek, do you think it's a bad move? As a person who has a bachelor's in journalism.
See, if you ever join Aam Aadmi Party, Abhishek, you better keep that degree safe.
Abbas, तू join करेगा तो क्या
कैसे करोगे? नहीं बैठेगी वही तो. Diploma, is that good enough?
12th standard pass दिखा दो.
उसका percentage कुछ ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं है. But anyway, last word, Abhishek, and then we can wrap up.
So, what should I say?
What should I say? It is exactly a good response.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
So basically, we established in this episode
Podcast
that
was fun. I enjoyed it.
we'll come to that, Abhishek. That the history books are fucked, and if you somehow get through that and become a graduate also,
Yeah.
the degrees are just pieces of paper, man.
Yeah, exactly. Education is overrated. Higher
Podcast
education
सुनो.
मत करो.
हाँ, podcast सुनो, सब knowledge ले लो.
Yeah.
बस और क्या.
बिल्कुल.
Exactly. इंटरनेट सिखा रहा है. अब तो AI भी आ गया. तो तुमको क्या जरूरत है ये सब करने की? Right? अब तुम प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी बनोगे तो तुम चैट जीपीटी को ही पूछोगे ना? Like, you know, like, tell me how to solve this problem, and then AI will respond, and they'll be like,
Tell me
cool.
how to install Pegasus.
Yeah.
Okay, I think on that note,
Abhishek will be like, tell me who's paying for this ad. Bing, tell me.
what's the street address?
What is the street address?
Abhishek, thank you so much for taking time out and doing the podcast with us.
Thank you, Abbas. Thank you, Meghnad, for
Yeah.
inviting me in this podcast. I really enjoyed this podcast, and this was much interesting. I was not expecting.
To be this good. Well,
You were not
sorry to exceed your expectations.
you were not expecting this fun like this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I
Because
thought
I
that
think
this will be a
since
serious, like boring one.
yeah, no, the point is, I think after I started my story,
Yeah.
his contribution is laughing loudly, which is great, which is never a bad thing. And anything to plug, Abhishek? You have anything to plug? Any story? I mean, of course, the story that you spoke about, but anything other than that?
Yeah, we are coming up with some more stories, some more reveals in
Oh,
coming
on
week
this?
and coming months. Yeah, on this too and on other things too.
Okay.
Can't reveal right now.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
your
but
job,
from
Abhishek. It's like, ये क्या suspense है? Oh, we are about to reveal something. When? Next week? What? I can't reveal. उसके भी next week कुछ तो भी reveal होगा. Come on.
You can
if
follow
I
Abhishek. Yeah, go ahead, Abhishek.
if I reveal right now, maybe other person can make a strategy to remove all their content.
Oh, right.
Fair enough.
To be fair, last week we had your colleague, Kaleem,
Kaleem.
on this podcast. And he was also refusing to reveal something. And he has done a great story on T. Raja and his whole transcript of
yeah.
hate speeches. Please go read that. I would recommend that. And what we'll do is we'll share his thread also under this. So you can check out Abhishek's thread. Also, Abhishek को किसी ने counter भी किया है. उसमें उसने एक
Yeah.
काउंटर थ्रेड भी किया है. वो बहुत फन है.
So that thread actually made my day.
This is so
That thread
funny.
made my
So
Sunday.
funny.
So I saw that thread, I think yesterday morning, and I was thinking this guy has not basic knowledge of crawlers and all. He
Yeah.
was saying inbuilt with last detected is like 1 month ago, 2 months ago. So these websites were not live. This guy is taking credit that after we done that investigation and those websites went down. Actually, those websites went down last month.
Last month, yeah.
So
No,
I
but
have archived that all these websites I have archived in March.
yeah,
And this guy was saying that last detected is about when the crawler of built with went on that website. Uh, they don't monitor it per second per minute. They randomly
yeah,
goes on that website. For example, like if you do a story, like if alt news do a story, so crawlers come to our website, or we give a message to the crawler that we have published a story, and they index it on Google.
yeah.
Same thing happens in all the backend, that crawler came to the website and they detect. Last time what they detect, they mentioned that we have last detected this website at this time this month. So he was saying that the last detected showing February, and this guy is saying that after we done that investigation, then these websites went down. I was like rolling on the floor laughing.
Cool. You can read all those threads in the link. The
Yeah.
links will be in the comments. In the description. Wait, I'll take that line again. You can read all the threads in the description of the show. We'll put our links there. You can follow Abhishek on Twitter. His Twitter handle is Abhishek Say, and he has a blue tick as of this recording. So, congrats
Not
on that,
paid.
Abhishek.
Not paid. Yeah.
If you say so.
Now we don't.
Now we don't know. Meghnad, where
We have
can one follow
evidence.
you?
Yeah, no, I don't believe you. So like my Twitter handle is Meghnad. I might be a Twitter Blue subscriber, or I might be verified. I don't know. So,
Legacy verified. Legacy
Schrodinger's verified also. Schrodinger's degree, Schrodinger's verified. But yeah, you can follow me on Meghnad. You can also follow my YouTube Meghnad. ये podcast तो बाद में जाएगा, but I'll just say it that by the time you watch this, I would have done an AMA on this channel for Explain Like I'm 10, but other things as well. So please do check that out. Might have answered a lot of questions. I'm speaking in
Future tense.
I'm speaking in future tense. I might have answered a lot of questions with like, a lot of crowd might have come to ask me some uncomfortable questions. So please check it out.
All right. And my name is Abbas. You can catch me on Twitter at Abbas Momin and Abbas Momin88 on Instagram, and not verified anywhere. So I'm safe that way. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We'll be back next week with a new panelist, a new guest, no, a new guest,
New
same
guest.
panelist, new guest, and some new topics. So we'll see you all next week. Till then, bye bye.